You're in the cut with Slidercuts. Today I'm taking you through a haircut with Lawrence Okolie. That will be a 1.5 with the grain, skin fade and a beard shaper. Before you go anywhere, I'd like you to do me one favor. Not one favor. Subscribe.
Waxy and Ted Cheeseman.
Is it an O2?
No, it's the York Hall. So it's one of those ones where you know JD works with Matchroom Sports, yeah, so they have like next generation shows, so they get like the best of the young talent from the area, and then yeah, for us it's like the main event. Yeah, we'll be on Sky Sports. You know what, like I've watched it like so far in big like arenas like O2, Sheffield, all that. But this one's probably the most intense because it's like everyone's on top of you, and it's, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, just because it's shut, just because.
Yeah.
It's a small environment. Everyone can see everyone. And
like in like big arenas and that, everyone's so not even so far, but it just feels distant. But this one, it's like they're on top of you, so it's gonna be exciting.
So you fight light, is it light heavyweight?
Cruiserweight, so it's the one above light heavy and underneath heavyweight.
Is that the one that, what's the name used to fight? David?
Yeah, 40 meter heavyweight, yeah.
So everyone who does cruiserweight, do they eventually just move up to heavyweight?
It depends on how big they are. Like, if you're quite big, then yeah. I think as you get older, you just fill out a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
24.
Do you think you will eventually go to heavyweight?
Yeah, if I had to, I've started to realise that heavyweight's a different kind of ball game. You know what I mean? But obviously, if I'm older and I get bigger, but it's like the size of heavyweights now. If you look at people like Joshua, Wilder, Fury, like they're that big. All my attributes at my weight now go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm tall, strong, like, and I punch hard. When you go heavyweight, it's like, oh, you saw those things.
Can you go in boxing, you'll have to go up and down?
Yeah.
Like, could you go and fight heavyweight one fight, then decide to go fight cruiserweight next fight?
Yeah.
So what about if you become like some heavyweight champion and you decide to go fight cruiserweight? Do you still have the same belt?
You can, it's weird, you have to, it's difficult to hold more than one belt after. I don't know if you can hold it in two different weights at the same time. I think when you box for a world title, you have to let go of the other ones.
Yeah.
Or if you win the world title at a different weight, you have to let go of the ones at the other weight, I think. You can't be world champion in more than one weight at the same time.
Yeah. So guys, when you're doing a skin fade, because he has got like a, no, not even like, he has a 1.5 on top. When you're doing a skin fade, what I do is, after I've done the top and I come to the side, I just reduce the side. So this is the close number 1, going with the grain, and I'm just reducing the side. So I'm going to try bring this as low as possible, then I'll start fading. So with the same number 1, I'm going to open up the lever. If you want to understand what that means, I'll have another video which explains the closed lever and open lever. So I'm just basically going to reduce the hair slowly till it's at skin at the bottom. Always remember your invisible line, guys. If you've watched any of my other videos, you understand what that is. An invisible line is a line that you create in your head to say, I'm not going to go above that line. So as example, in cutting his hair now, I've created an invisible line there, which means that I am not going to take the fade higher than that line. So am I going to put that line there? You can see there. You create that with your eyes and just say, cool, I'm not going higher than that. So if I put my finger there, I'm staying underneath that line. And the reason why you do that, guys, is because if you go above that line, what you end up doing is you end up bringing his hair lower here, and you end up having someone's hair look like a Mohican. So remember, always create that invisible line in your head to say, I'm not going above that line. So yeah, I've closed the lever. I'm going over it still, guys. The whole aim is I'm just reducing the level. So a fade is to smoothly, gradually reduce the levels till it fades out to the desired level. In this case, it's going to be skin, which is 0. So now this is a 1 going against the grain on the sides at the moment, which is, if you look, you can see it's lower than the top. I take the open blade by itself and I just run over it. So what you guys should be seeing is it's getting lighter. It is starting to fade. It obviously still is a line there, but if you look at the beginning of the video, when I just put the line there, you can see that it's a lot more faint. And now I'm turning it around to go against the grain, and I'm just going to look how low I'm staying now. When I started, I was up there. Look where I'm at now. I'm just basically just above the line, and I'm just flicking just above the line. So already you can see, guys, that it's almost, it's faded. It's still got a line there, but it's faded. Some people's fades, they leave it like this. It's not the worst fade in the world. But I just keep going over it till we have a real smooth fade. So now I've gone over it a number of times, because the aim is to keep going over it till it stops cutting. And you can hear when it stops cutting because it scratches when it's cutting. So now I've gone over it quite a few times, it's not cutting anymore. I take the lever and I lower it a little bit, and I'm just on the line. I'm just on the line. Just staying on the line. You see it fading out, guys? Then I take the lever, I lower it even more, and I'm literally just flicking now. Look at that, I'm just touching the line now. Because now my clipper, the gauge, what it's at is just above skin. And I'm gonna close it just now, literally. Now we're just like a tad above 0. So now I'm literally just, if you can see the flicking of the thing, I'm not even heavy on his head. I'm not even being heavy on his head, because this is just the fade now. Because this is 0. What this is at right now is just a tad above 0. So now I'm just flicking on, just on the line, literally just flicking on it. So now we created a fade, just like that. And you do the same thing, guys, all the way around. On the back, on the side, it's exactly the same thing. So when you're shaping up, guys, it's the same thing all the time. I always tell you, you press down and pull away. Press down, pull away, press down, pull away. Now I'm over exaggerating it, guys, so when I'm doing it, I'm never really going and pulling away that much, but I'm just trying to show you the motion. So when I'm doing it actually properly, normally, I should be doing that. But the motion is I am pulling away. Always comb the hair out, comb the hair down. they even judge whether it's been a good sponsorship or not? Like,
it's a good point. I think just on like, because obviously I just do a lot of stuff like interviews, stuff like that. So and like posts and stuff. So I think how well you sort of done with that, and also your profile as well, like how it increases. Like so, obviously I'll be boxing higher up bills on bigger shows. You know what I mean? So it must have some sort of criteria, but I think I'm killing it right now. Knockouts, good highlights.
You are in the cut with Slidercuts. Let me know what you think of it. Leave a comment, like the video if you like it, share it if you think it'll be helpful to someone else. But don't forget to subscribe.